Biz School is brought to you by Neon Canvas. Neon Canvas is a digital marketing boutique located in Memphis, Tennessee. To learn more about Neon Canvas, visit neoncanvas.com.
Welcome, here it goes. This is the 13th episode of Biz School with Alex Rasmussen, where I'm going to be teaching you all things business. And today we're going to be talking about education and learning. I am a firm believer in great education. Even though I was not an academic in high school, I did graduate with honors from university. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I was in college on my own dime and I was not about to waste my money. My parents' money, that's a different story. After I graduated from Christian Brothers University in Memphis, I needed to develop an entirely new set of skills in order to learn my craft in search engine optimization and digital marketing. It wasn't even called digital marketing back then. I adopted that term around 2012 and have seen this industry grow from zero to $356 billion in digital marketing spend in 2020. That's incredible. Let me say that again. Digital marketing went from a non-existent industry in my childhood to a $356 billion industry in 2020. The point of me telling you that is that it's never too late to learn. And the foundations of that begin at a very, very early age. Many are not blessed with a great education and must find ways to develop themselves. So to talk about that gap from need to knowledge, I'm going to bring on Leigh Mansberg. Leigh is the president and CEO of Junior Achievement of Memphis in the Mid-South. Junior Achievement in Memphis in the Mid-South has been dedicated to educating students about entrepreneurship, work readiness, and financial literacy since 1955. Through an extensive offering of experiential hands-on programs, JA empowers students by helping them to discover the tools they need to own their economic success. So we're going to bring on Leigh here. I want to talk to her about all things education. We're going to have a lot of fun. Leigh, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great, Alex. Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I'm super happy to have you here. And one of the first things I think it's kind of funny when I build out the list of people I'm going to have on the show, that other people's reaction. And one of the best reactions I got was from my vice president, Joelle. She's like, I love Leigh. She's my favorite person in the whole world. So I asked her to jump in and join us on the show. I have no idea whether or not she's going to do that. She may actually be in labor for all we know. So I know Joelle's getting ready to have a baby. So maybe she'll pop in and join us today. But until then, Leigh, I'm looking forward to getting to know you.
Well, I am so happy to be here, and I'm so fortunate that I've been in education in Memphis for over 26 years now. So I've gotten to actually be people's teachers like Joelle. And so anywhere we go out to eat, one of the greatest blessings of my life is I get to hear Miss Mansberg. And it's just fun. It's great to be an educator.
That's awesome. Well, you've set the stage for your bio. I want to read it to the people. So Leigh is the nonprofit's first ever educator to lead the organization with more than 25 years of experience in educational leadership and human capital growth. Leigh is an award-winning educator. She's served in teaching and leadership roles at the Shelby County Schools and St. Mary's Episcopal School, where she was the chair of the English department and assistant head of school. Prior to joining Junior Achievement, Leigh served as the chief operating officer at Epicenter, the region's entrepreneurial hub. Before that, she serves as the chief operating officer at Bridge Capital. Leigh is a problem solver, an innovator, and a lifelong learner dedicated to inclusion, equality, equity, and fun. So on today's show, we're going to discuss the importance of education. We're going to unpack the idea that learning never ends, and we're going to discuss ways that you as a leader in your community can help educate others. So Leigh, let's get started. To give people just a little bit of the Reader's Digest version, tell us what Junior Achievement is and what the mission is for Junior Achievement.
Sure. The mission of Junior Achievement is to make sure that all of our children in our community feel prepared to engage successfully in our economy and to become thriving citizens who are also inspired by work and inspired by business so that they can lead lives and be ready for the future. Junior Achievement does this. We teach financial literacy, workforce readiness, and entrepreneurship education so that children are fully equipped. And these programs are in grades kindergarten through 12th grade. And we are the Seinfeld of opportunities. So what we really believe is that it's not enough to get the reservation. Our goal is to keep the reservation to see how many years we can keep children coming back so that they really know how to use their high school careers to decide that they want to launch into career after high school or into an associate's degree or a 4 years degree, whatever it takes to get to where they want to go. We make sure that they understand that pathway and they're ready to do it.
That's awesome. How do you find the kids to come into the program?
We have really deep, meaningful relationships with our districts, with charter school networks, and with private schools. And so we serve actually 23 counties, which has a potential of about 324,000 children that we could reach. Now, we have not, I would love to say we reach 324,000 children. We don't. We will reach between 10 and 15,000 children a year. And we work directly with the schools and their teachers and their community leaders. We train everybody, and then they teach their classrooms. And most of these are classroom programs and after-school programs.
That's awesome. So you're in there and you're essentially the schools present this opportunity to the students. It's on them to take that opportunity or not. Is that right?
Pretty much, but we really see it as a partnership. So one of the things that I specialize in is curriculum design and program design. So we really go on a learning tour to really see how we can partner. So for example, we work closely with Gestalt Community Schools, and they have a lot of business programs, and we offer 10 high school business courses. And they were super excited that what we've done is we've created curriculum they can use. We train their teachers. And then our amazing program team is always there to support their teachers as they go through these semester-long courses. So that was a program that they needed. And so we work really hard. We have about 906 students signed up in our high school courses. And those are full semester courses. We create the curriculum, train the teachers. And so we're a partner. I think it's our job to make sure those we serve get around the bases. We kind of come up to bat second is how I look at our work.
I got you. Well, and to that point, I want to ask you just a little bit about education for kids at that age, because typically when I hire someone, I want them moldable. I want them to know how to learn, but I don't want them to know everything, right? But there's some things we really need these kids to learn, things like financial literacy. How is that at the forefront of what you do, and how can we start teaching kids and young adults about financial literacy just so they know how to manage their own money and stay out of debt?
Sure. So that is at the heart. And what we look at financial literacy as, so we see mindset and then we see skill set. So at Junior Achievement, we spend the first K through 8th grade years really working on a child's mindset and building what we would call a universal vocabulary around these things. So what becomes really hard around financial literacy is everybody in our community kind of uses different language around it. So children get confused because we're not using the same language. So we set their mindset around, how do you think about money? How do you approach money? What do you believe philosophically about your money? So that then by the time we really get to high school and they can really concrete those financial literacy skills, they're within a context. So for example, you cannot build a business and be an entrepreneur if you cannot manage your money. The best business idea will go astray. But we want to spend those early years inspiring in them that every child can think and be an entrepreneur, no matter if you start your own business or you're actually working in your business. Everybody wants their employees to be thinking of ideas and taking risk and challenges and looking for next opportunities. And that's what entrepreneurs do. So you don't have to open a business to be an entrepreneur. We think the playground is the ultimate entrepreneurial space, that children are inventing games to solve problems all of the time. Let's make sure we keep them doing that. So we see our work as kind of this dynamic play-based work so that children can see that business and work is fun if we don't take the fun out of it. And so that's what we really try to show them, that when you're inspired by what you do and you're trained and well prepared and then can manage your money, your self-efficacy, your odds for self-efficacy, for independence grow exponentially.
Yeah, and I would imagine that's the very foundation of what you mean when you talk about having your children to be world ready. Is that right?
Yes. So when I started at Junior Achievement a year and a half ago, I sat down with the staff and I said, you get 4 words to serve as our vision statement for why we do. Because if we don't know why we're doing this, what is the point? And so we spent a whole day workshopping this, and we came up with this expression, every child world ready. And when we say world ready, we mean that in context, each child's journey is unique. So is each child ready for what's next? Do they have this? Does each child, does he or she have the skills to get to what's next? And if you have the skills to get to what's next, then you're not afraid. Most of us as humans are afraid when we don't understand what's coming next. So we'll just stop. We'll put our hands up and say, no, thank you. So you had mentioned earlier the unknown. And so how do you keep a child from being afraid of the unknown, to be willing to like literally leap into it? Well, they feel prepared. They feel like they have a parachute. And we see those parachutes as financial literacy, as job training. Those are the parachutes that let us land safely on the ground.
Yeah, and to me, that's the key is at a young age. I mean, my third grader right now is working on fractions and adding fractions and subtracting and figuring out fractions, right? And what I'm trying to tell her right now is, listen, like, you do not have to be awesome at this. This is not something that you are going to necessarily use later on in life, and that you need to be stressing out and losing sleep over. What you need to do is you need to learn the concepts, and you need to learn how to learn this. That's the most important part, is being open to yourself and letting yourself learn new things, and not getting frustrated when it's not easy, because it's not supposed to be easy. Life is not easy.
Life is not easy, and those are very good parenting lessons. It's not supposed to be easy, and we need to lean into what's hard and to realize that, the math we need for survival, she'll use her fractions, and we want her to feel really comfortable in those, because particularly for women in business, I love that you tell her to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Just keep stepping in. Very few of us have to have an A+ in mathematics to be extremely successful. In business, I discovered I was an English teacher my whole career, but I discovered that I was intuitively good with math in terms of what it means for business, and had a really good business mind, even though I love literature. And it just hadn't been encouraged in me. And so I feel extremely passionate about making sure that children are comfortable with what makes them uncomfortable. It's how we get to a place of success. We can't avoid it. We'll make really big mistakes when we avoid it.
No doubt. And I did something very similar, speaking of avoiding it, in my own personal experience in college. And, I went to B school, and the business degree is one of the lesser paths of resistance to get a degree in college, because there's not, if you're not great at math, there's not a ton of math credits that you have to get and that sort of thing, especially if you're getting like a business and arts degree. So within that, I had to take this one advanced math class. It was like a calculus style class, and I dropped that class every semester from my freshman year to my senior year, until I finally had to take it my senior year, because I was just overwhelmed by it. And in the end, what I found out is that, look, I just stick through this. I speak with the teacher. When I got into a point where I really had to have this, it opened my ability to realize that, like, you can learn this stuff. You might not be an A+ student at it, but you can definitely get by and have the framework that you need just by having a little bit of confidence in yourself.
Oh, absolutely. And we simply can't tell children to be afraid of math, because when you trust your numbers to other people, then your money isn't safe. Like, you need to be able to do the safe math. You need to understand. I mean, financial literacy is rooted in basic math, and all children should learn to know and be accountable for what they earn, where they put what they earn, what they owe on what they earn, and why. And then they can protect it. You really can't protect what you have. Predatory lending and predatory cash checking, for example, is a basic function of math that the children should understand. And so that's why, helping our communities understand banking and ethical, good banking is incredibly important work to teach very early on, so that our children can protect their very sacred resources.
Exactly. And I find that people are surprised sometimes. I mean, if I'm talking to a banker or I'm talking to someone about our business, maybe they're evaluating our business or we're having a business conversation, and I can tell people at any point in the day within a month, at any day in the month, exactly how much money we're going to make this month, whether that be the top end revenue or the bottom, the net income. And people are shocked by how do you know that? And I'm shocked by people who don't know that in there. But how do you not know how much money you have right now? And so these basic tenets of being able to understand how much money's coming in, how much money you've got to spend, and then what's left over, it seems like the table stakes, but it's really not, because people are constantly overspending, especially at a young age. I'm working with my niece on this all the time. She's like, I can't save money. I'm doing this, I'm that. I'm like, you eat Starbucks every day, you get a smoothie for lunch, then you go shopping, and you wonder at the end, like, how am I overspending? Well, the first thing you got to do is pay yourself, and you do that by saving money.
I totally agree. That's why we're really excited. We've actually introduced a new program called Finance Park Virtual, and it teaches the seventh graders the 12 drivers of a personal budget, and they study that with their teacher. And then there is a simulation, a 3-hour simulation, where they are given a job, they're given a family, their family only has one income, and they are not allowed to live on debt. If they have to live on what they make, they have to buy groceries, insurance, pay for transportation, they have to feed, educate their children, they have to practice philanthropy. And almost every adult, once we do this, says, I wish somebody had done this for me in middle school. I wish I had gone through that exercise. And we think it is just a perfect time for 13-year-olds to really see the impact when you overspend in one budget driver, when you have obligations. And we have taken our children out of a sense of obligation to balance those things. So we're really excited. It's launching with Shelby County Schools this spring, all spring, with thousands of children in our community. So we're very excited about it.
Well, I think that's incredible, because there's nothing that will teach you more about sacrifice and self-control than being broke.
That would be accurate. And particularly having children and being broke, it's just when you have people that you're accountable to, it changes the table. And our children need to understand that very, very early.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that because, I want to talk about some of these struggles that you see young people, especially in our community here in Memphis, face when trying to become entrepreneurs and business leaders, because oftentimes they're coming from families who maybe their housing was supported by the government, their food was supported by the government, their education, of course, was supported by the government, and they don't really understand what it's like to live and thrive in a healthy financial situation.
Well, Memphis, as we all know, we face incredible poverty rates in our children. And so junior achievement is here to make sure that all children experience opportunity and see a pathway to that opportunity. So equity and access is at the core of what we do, and making sure that for those children who need us most, they have the most access to our programming. They actually get unlimited, without fees of any kind, to our programming for as many years as they want it, so that they can access it. So no matter how a family finds its housing or its income, we want our children to know, one, that they are cared for, that they are loved by a community that wants to see them succeed. So for our business partners and for all people in our community, making sure that doorways are open and opportunities and pathways are not just open, but visible. So, entrepreneurship is at the heart of launching an economy. Memphis needs thousands more entrepreneurs all of the time. So that, if you look at our BizTown, you can see where International Paper, the Grizzlies, Oracle, all of these incredibly AutoZone Memphis-based companies began first as entrepreneurship. The Oracle family started in the 19th century with their hardware company, but it was small and a family business. So the challenge for our children who live in underserved communities is they need investments in them. And, for many children who are not in that community, they have family members that will spot them the money it takes to start a business. So how do you plant seeds of hope for every child so that they actually have a viable business? And junior achievement is making sure we do that. And so, and it's also about training and making sure you know how to use that high school career early enough, and you're using your partners to use the Tennessee Promise to get to an associate's degree, and using certifications while in high school at Moore Tech, using the CCTE department at Shelby County Schools, so you have the tools you need to live well. And so we're just making sure that we get all of our children ready to do that.
This is something when you said more tech, and it's like my it gave me chills a little bit, because I really believe, especially in our city, that vocational education is the most powerful thing that we can be doing for our 15 to 18-year-old kids, 14 to 18-year-old kids. Is maybe not all of them are going to be academics, but they can be incredible business people in plumbing, HVAC, landscapers. I mean, the home services industry in Memphis is wide open for great companies to come in and just deliver on the promises that they can make. And so I really believe that if you can just teach people how to learn skills and how to have a desire and a thirst for learning, like Junior Achievement is doing, that we can rise up an entire generation out of poverty.
I agree with that. And we have to play the long game. We have a deep partnership with Shelby County Schools College Career and Technical Education Department, because we do believe that. Because if you get certified in plumbing or HVAC or automotive repair in high school and in the first 2 years after high school, you might then own your own company. Then you become an entrepreneur. And then you might hire 3 or 4 other families. And all of a sudden, you're changing your neighborhood when you can start adding employees. So our new 8th grade program is called Inspire Career Exploration. It'll take place this coming May with about 3,000 students in Shelby County Schools College Career and Technical Education Department. And what it will do is introduce them not only to all the amazing companies and schools and pathways to do that, but it will teach them, okay, step 1 in 9th grade. You need to be doing this. You need to learn these things. You need to take these courses. And that's why we have these high school courses as well, so that if they choose not to continue with an associate's degree, they might head over to TCAT or Moore Tech, or Southwest. There's so many great options to make sure that you're trained and prepared to enter into the workplace. And so we're really excited about this new program to make sure that children understand that go ahead and get this taken care of in high school, because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You might go work in plumbing for a couple of years, then you might say, hey, I want to go back to Southwest and do this, or I might want to head over to CBU and do this. And so there's so many, we just want our children to know this is a long race. It won't be just right when you're 18 or 22 or it just might not be, and that's okay. We got you.
I was 35 before I started my business. And, I want that to be a story for all kinds of people. I mean, because you don't have to start a business at 19 or 20 or 21 at 22. You can just start learning. You can just start preparing yourself for your career, making money, understand how to manage your money. And then as soon as you're ready to take that leap, you can become an entrepreneur at any point in your life. And I mean, in order to do that, you've got to bet on yourself. And quite frankly, I was probably just a little bit scared to bet on myself. And had I had something like Junior Achievement at 18, 19, 20, if I'd have bet on myself at 21, who knows where I would be right now. So, I mean, I encourage everybody I talk to don't be scared to bet on yourself, and that's the programs that Junior Achievement. I've always had this sort of peripheral view of Junior Achievement, what you do, but it sounds like it's grown so much just since you've taken the reins.
It has. We have really overhauled our entire programming offerings in the last 18 months. 60% of what we do is new. And it's really, really good, because what we've done is we've structured it to layer on top of each other. So how old is your daughter?
My oldest is 8. She'll be 9 in just a couple of weeks.
So imagine if now we've aligned all of our programming so that your 8-year-old, then she's 9, 10, 11, 12, every year, it just keeps intentionally building on it. So she gets more and more sophisticated as we go, so that by the time she's in high school, she's maybe taken all 10 business courses. And you have a little MBA on your hands, and she's just graduating high school. And so, it all makes sense and was structured. That's the gift of my being an educator, is that it was intentionally structured so that it would work, so that it would make sense within the context of her age and what she should know, and so that she would be ready.
That's incredible. Speaking of getting people ready, I think we might have somebody here
Oh,
who
yay.
you know. Hey, Joelle, are you there?
There
Oh,
she is.
unmute yourself.
Sorry. You think I've done this one or twice before.
Maybe. Do you guys know each other?
Hey, Joelle, it's so good to see you, and what a treat to have you here today.
It is so wonderful to see you. As soon as I found out Alex was speaking with you, I was like, that was one of my favorite teachers at St. Mary's. She had such a huge impact on my life. And I just wanted to pop by and thank you for what you did for me and what you continue to do for so many other people.
Well, you're very sweet, but you're such a shining example of what it looks like when you take your education and entrepreneurship and a deep curiosity. I know your mind is talk about lifelong learning that Alex brought up. Joelle is just an incredible example of curiosity and just finding new skills and trying new things. Like, I've known her forever, it seems like, and she has had a lot of different paths and she bets on herself. And so I think it's just exciting to see that.
I don't know what I would do if Joelle hadn't. She had taken a trip, or like basically like a sabbatical. She had traveled around the world, and she was working. And she came back, and I was like, "What are you gonna do?" And she's like, I'm working. I've got a couple options. I got this. I was like, "Will you come work for me, please? Like, will you help me grow this thing?" And we were just like a baby little company. I don't even think we had hit $1 million in revenue yet. So, and here we are. How long? 4 years later, and pushing $5 million in revenue and headed to the moon. So, and that is a huge testament to Joelle's organization, her personal interpersonal skills, her ability to connect with people, manage our team. I mean, there's just so many things that she has been able to bring to our organization that clearly, without the background that you and others have provided her, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
Well, I'm happy y'all are where you're at. I love hearing that and how you can continue inspiring you and your team. Well, come on over to JA and inspire just thousands of children to come. We'll have to do a case study to put in one of our business courses of how you did this and get you featured on our launch lessons so that children get to learn your story so they figure out how to do this.
I love it. Do you have some other favorite success stories of a JA student you could share with us?
I think the real success stories for us, because we don't work directly with students, we work directly with schools more and their teachers. So I think the real question is, where our teachers have had success stories. And that's, to me, just really exciting to see. But I think, Joelle, did you come to BizTown when you were in school? It was Exchange City, I think. Do you remember your job? One of my favorite parts when children come to our programs, what we know about play-based learning is they never forget what their jobs are when we show them the path forward. So, that to me are the favorite stories when you go around Memphis and you meet people, you're like, wait, you're the queen of BizTown now? I'm like, yes, I'm the queen of BizTown. My children fondly call me the queen of BizTown, just when they want to needle me a little bit. But, my 27-year-old ran the snack shop at BizTown, and my 23-year-old ran Baptist Hospital. So what a great thing for a 10-year-old to get to learn.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So what's next for JA? Tell us what's on the horizon.
Oh, so much is going on. We have launched our own television show, quietly called JA Building Blocks. It hasn't passed legal yet, where we have produced 40 episodes of a television show that features local entrepreneurs, that is rooted in culturally responsive education. We've reached, in the month of January, 5,000 students in Shelby County schools. And we are very excited because our television show has now been launched nationally with the other 105 offices of JAUSA. So Memphis is going to be featured, and 40 of our entrepreneurs are going to be featured all over the country. For children, it's an elementary show that really I think we have the next Mrs. Rogers that we have found, and she is charming, and she interviews some of our guests or children, some of them, Holly Hendricks Vitalis, a friend, I think one of Joelle's acquaintances from school days, is an architect, and she teaches the children how entrepreneurs build and design a city using egg cartons and sticky notes. And so I never thought, and Joelle would probably laugh, that I would be in the television business, but I seem to be. So this is your point. Like, you just got to just think, okay, I have the skills, just jump, right? Just bravely go. And if you fall flat on your face, just get up.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
Just
had
get
way
up.
more. I've had way more failures than I've had successes. I promise you. And that's every day.
Well, that is the definition of entrepreneurship. We have to praise our children when they fail rather than give them an F. We need to give them an A plus for how they deal with failure rather than putting a red mark. And probably could make Joelle cringe. I did like a red pen in my day. So she probably
Maybe
still
that's
has
where
some
she got her fondness for
PTSD.
red lipstick. I love it. I love it. Well, this has been great, Leigh. You're just a breath of fresh air. What you're doing for the city, what you've done for junior achievement. Is there anything else you want to add that I didn't ask you about? We've covered, I feel like, a lot of ground today, but the floor is yours.
Well, I just hope all your listeners know that when JA comes calling, say yes, because it is going to literally take the entire business community of Memphis to lift up all of our children and open your doors, think differently, be unapologetic about saying, yes, we'll sponsor interns when the city of Memphis or Shelby County government is looking for interns, even if it costs us a little money. It costs money to change an economy and it costs our time and it's challenging. We have to open up our doors to all children so that they can just figure out, wow, I am welcome in this economy. And it's going to take all of us. It's going to be a heavy lift, but we're going to do it.
Well, call on Neon Campus anytime. Joelle and I are both here to help. I know Joelle's going to be out for a few weeks having her beautiful little baby, and when she gets back, she can lead the charge of Neon Campus and JA working together.
We would love that. Would welcome that opportunity. Joelle knows I'll hold her to it.
Good. Well, I always love to end the show with something a little bit fun that I call three things. I do this for all my guests, and I'm going to give you three things. And you got to do something for me. You got to choose one of them. You're going to discard one. You can't do anything with it, and then you got to give the other one away. So here you go. I always give everybody the option of $10 million. So that's the first one. You get $10 million. For you, I chose the president of the university of your choice because that seems like the pinnacle of all education is maybe be it to be a president, maybe not for you. Maybe you'll discard that or give it away. And the other one is a 3-month sabbatical anywhere you want to go because I know people like you who work as hard as you, you're almost forced to get away. I know that would be me. Somebody would have to say, all right, Alex, we're taking your phone. You got to go away. So tell me what you would do there. You get to choose one, discard one, give them away, $10 million. President of any university of your choice, or a 3-month sabbatical. What are you doing?
Well, the 3-month sabbatical I'm giving to Joelle so she can have an extra long maternity leave because, yes, I get to do that. You told me it was mine to give away. She gets to have her maternity leave because I think all women should get to leave and take care of their families on their basis, and I will always be a champion for that. I'm going to have to not use the president of the university, although it's really tempting, but Dr. Rudd is doing such a good job at the University of Memphis, and I'm such a huge fan. So I'm going to let him keep doing that. And I'm actually going to keep the 10 million because I'm actually a really good business person and investor. And in the changing nature of our community, it would be really fun to be able to be a philanthropist with plenty of cash behind me to invest not only in the work of junior achievement, but in so many amazing organizations that I'm deeply believe in, because one of the things I would do is for so many of our children, they are unbankable and don't have families that can support their business ideas. And it would be really, really fun to not turn any child away who has a business idea. So I think that's probably what I'd do with that. So Joelle, enjoy your time.
Thank you.
I don't know if I can handle you gone for 3 months. I got to be honest with you, Joel. You can bring the baby here. You can bring her to my house. You can do anything you want, but like 2.5 months, baby. No, I'm kidding. Whatever you need, take as long as you need. Leigh, this was great. Such a joy to hear your energy. You've got such a diverse and incredible background in all these things. The fact that you're using your talents to lead junior achievement is a testament to who you are in your heart. I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I think you added a ton for us. Leigh, tell people where they can find you, get a hold of you if they wanted to send you an email or you learn more about junior achievement.
Go straight to jamemphis.org, and there are 3 magic buttons on the bottom where you can get a program, or you can donate, or you can just contact us, and we will take you anywhere, or volunteer. We'll take you any way you'd like to come. So we welcome everybody.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Leigh, for joining us. Thank you, Joelle, for jumping on and being a little surprise guest today. You don't want to miss the next episode. So please subscribe to Biz School wherever you get your podcast. Follow me on social media at the Alex Raz. Punch that 5 stars to help me grow this thing. That's all for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me. It means a lot, and the rest is history.